Welcome back to Game On Hay. If you're just joining us, welcome. It's semi-final day, the first of them today between England and New Zealand. We've started the process of deciding who might be the better side. We're going to start the process now of looking at the individuals who might well or might not. You never know. It's just a game. Might or might not make an absolute difference to the course of history today. So, first up, we're going to look at the England batting, which personally, in personal opinion, I think is looking very strong. Others might disagree. And the man who stands out, actually, from all the performances we've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks in the Super 12s is Jos Butler. The 100 he made in Sharjah was absolutely spectacular. They're missing Jason Roy, of course, who is normally a key figure at the top of the order. Dawid Malan is highly ranked, but he's one of those talking points we'll get to. Morgan has found some form in this tournament, as has Moeen Ali. Johnny Bestow's missed it, but he might have an opportunity today if they trust me and stick him up to the top of the order. If he opens today, I think that will give him a new lease of life. And Livingstone, well, he's a big hitter of the ball, again, with few chances. So that's pretty much the core of the England batting, as I say, without Jason Roy because of that injury. And if you look at that just alone, I mean, we've talked about gut feelings with various people. And my gut feeling is that's a very strong lineup.
Yes, if you only look at that, you don't find any other team beating them. But there has been injuries.
Bring it on then, just bring it on.
There
now,
have been injuries, and New Zealand has got a very good bowling attack as well, which is backed by a very good fielding also. So yeah, so that's why we think they are going to be tested. Because the middle order has not been tested as much as they would have liked England coming into the knockouts.
It applies to everyone, you know. The good sides, the top order gets all the runs, and middle order comes into play only when needed. Right, let's start with I think actually the most important man of all, to be honest, Jos Butler. Because he's the man who's the only man to have made 100 for England in this tournament, because he's the man that takes attacks by the scruff of the neck at the top of the order, he is, to me, the potentially most dangerous batsman and therefore could be the game changer today, but only if it's his day and only if those bowlers you were talking about don't get him out swiftly. So if you want to ask the left wing about the stats that we see in front of us there.
Rashid bhai, ये middle और outside off इनके जो
बहुत ही जबरदस्त इस वर्ल्ड कप में स्पेशली ये जो दिया है ये सिर्फ इस वर्ल्ड कप का है. इससे पहले जो हमने स्टैट दिखाए थे और ग्राफिक दिखाई थी वो पूरे करियर की थी, लेकिन आज के मैच में सिर्फ ये वर्ल्ड कप के 5 मैचेस का रिकॉर्ड है. इनका स्ट्राइक रेट मेरे ख्याल से वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्लेयर इन दिस वर्ल्ड कप. जो बैट्समैन बैटर है ना, ये जॉस बटलर है और इंग्लैंड की टीम 50% डिपेंड ऑन बटलर. तो इनका देखें ऑफ स्टंप भी काफ़ी कवर हुआ है और बैटिंग तो कमाल ही है.
तो कहाँ इनकी वीकनेस ढूंढनी है राशिद भाई, ये भी तो बताएं.
आगे बॉल करें, अच्छी अंदर लेके आए, बाहर निकालें. 2-3 फास्ट बॉलर हैं, इनसे ज़्यादा अच्छा कौन नहीं जानता.
देखिए आगे को भी परेशान.
ये बहुत मुंह में चली गई थी बॉल. ये ऐसी ना करें, ये वाली पीछे बॉल ऐसी ना करें.
आज राशिद भाई को थोड़ा सा मैंने कॉपी किया, मैं ज़रा इनकी वीकनेस आपको बता देता हूँ आज.
यस,
अच्छा.
जॉस बटलर जो है ना, इसके अगर आप स्ट्राइक रेट देखें ना फास्ट बॉलर पे इस वर्ल्ड कप में, तो उनका है 195.51 फास्ट बॉलर पे. ये है अर्ली ऑन 1 to 6 ओवर की. स्पिन पे है 101.54.
ब्रिलियंट.
एवरेज उसका बनता है 66 और जो फास्ट बॉलर पे है 174. तो जो इसका जो 1 to 6 जो स्ट्राइक रेट जो ओवरऑल बनता है 132 है, और जो 7 से 15 है वो 175 विच इज़ लाइक ऊपर चला जाता है. लेकिन अगर आप फिर स्पिन के वो देखें ना, स्पिन पे ये इसका है 101. तो यहाँ पे उनके न्यूजीलैंड के पास 2 अच्छे स्पिनर्स है जो 7 से 15 तक ओवर करते हैं, तो वो ट्रबल कर सकते हैं.
और यही बात जो आप उमर कर रहे हैं, ये स्टैट्स भी अब सबके सामने आ चुके हैं. जो बात उमर कर रहे हैं पेस के ऊपर, आप देखिए इनका स्ट्राइक रेट 195 का स्ट्राइक रेट है, एवरेज 174, बहुत हाई है दोनों T20 क्रिकेट के लिए भी. और स्पिन पे जो आपने बात की कि स्ट्राइक रेट थोड़ा सा नीचे आता है, बट ओवरऑल डिफरेंट फेज में जो क्रिकेट हो रही है 1 to 6 में.
लेकिन एक चीज देखेंगे, इसमें 4 छक्के स्पिनर को भी मारे हुए इसके उसके अंदर भी 4 छक्के. तो ये वेट करते हैं बुरी बॉल मिले या जब मजबूरी होती है छक्का मार सकते हैं. इनका ये नहीं है कि ये सिर्फ ब्लॉक करते हैं, ये नॉक भी कर सकते हैं किसी वक्त।
तो अभी न्यूजीलैंड के आप 2 स्पिनर्स की बात करें, जो विकेट कीपर उनके ग्लेन फिलिप्स हैं, वो भी सुना थोड़ी बहुत ऑफ स्पिन कर लेते हैं और इसीलिए कॉन्वॉय से बॉलिंग कीपिंग कराई जा रही है, आपको पता है?
नहीं वो
इस
जो
tournament
आप कह रहे हैं ना कि किस तरह रोकना है, तो एक चांस है कि आपके 7 to 15 मेनली आपके जो ना स्पिनर बॉल करते हैं, तो वहाँ पे मे बी कि उसका जो स्ट्राइक रेट और जो एवरेज है वो नीचे आ जाए। अर्ली ऑन अगर आप देखें, अगर बॉल स्विंग हो गया जिस तरह अजहर भाई ने बात की है, तो अगर बटलर को आप अर्ली ऑन आउट करते हो तो फिर तो फंस सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर आप एक देखते हो कि जहाँ पे आप बटलर को उसका स्ट्राइक रेट नीचे लेके आ सकते हो, उसको अंडर प्रेशर कर सकते हो, मेरे ख्याल से 7 से 15 जो ओवर है जो स्पिनर्स के है वो बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है।
अजहर भाई आप, हाँ जी
एक चीज़ तो इंग्लिश जो बैट्समैन है, बैटर्स हैं, उन्होंने कुछ प्लेयर्स हैं जिन्होंने बहुत कम बॉल खेली हैं। लिविंगस्टन ने सिर्फ 19 बॉल्स खेली हैं, बेस्टो ओनली 24 बॉल्स, मोइन अली ओनली 33 बॉल्स। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये कंसर्न होगा कि पूरे इवेंट में इतनी ज़्यादा बॉल नहीं खेली
मिडिल ऑर्डर।
तो ये इनके एक है। जहाँ पे न्यूजीलैंड को देखते हैं, उनके मिडिल ने ज़्यादा बॉल खेली हैं।
बिल्कुल। आप अजहर भाई कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे बिफोर आई कैन टेक बटलर टू द
मैंने
इंग्लिश
तो
पैनल?
आपको पहले ही कहा था कि एक चीज़ पे फंसते हैं, पेस ऑफ पे या स्लो बॉल पे, जो है ना इंग्लैंड, नॉट जस्ट बटलर, ओवरऑल अगर आप इनकी बैटिंग देखें, क्योंकि उसकी रीज़न है कि क्यों फंसते हैं, क्योंकि सारे जो है ना पेस लाइक करते हैं, हाथ स्ट्रॉन्ग हैंड्स हैं, तो वहाँ पे जिस वक्त आप चेंज ऑफ पेस करते हैं, इनटू द पिच बॉल करते हैं, तो वहाँ टाइमिंग जो है वो मिस आउट होती है, जिसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम होती है। अगर आप जैसे हम इस टूर्नामेंट की बात कर रहे थे, बटलर की बात कर लें, तो 1 to 6 का जो स्ट्राइक रेट है उसका वो 132 है, लेकिन 7 से 15 का जो आपने गुली ने बात की वो 177 है, एंड देन लास्ट में 211। सो मतलब उसका जो है डिपेंड करता है कि कौन सी पिच पे खेले। जो जैसे अब शारजा की पिच थी, वहाँ पे वो टाइम लेते हैं, बट ही कैन इक्वली डेंजरस टू द स्पिन बॉलिंग एज वेल।
So the only chance against Butler might be change of pace, because he wants to go in with just one gear. That would be the only area of where you can just restrict him. And his overall the strike rate against paces is much more balanced than against spin. So that's the only place you might be able to.
Yeah, new ball might just do something. Depends on the pitch. So I mean, yeah, he is to me the key player in this England lineup, and we saw bits of that video against Australia. He destroyed Australia. So if he's in that sort of mood again, or gets off to that sort of start again, that could certainly tilt the balance of the game. And as a supporter of New Zealand, Viv, that might just worry you.
That's a gut feeling. What I would be worried about here is what sort of a Just Butler comes today or tonight, because we'd have seen in the preliminary rounds as free as anything else, hitting the ball as clean as anyone. He is definitely the point man for England. We are now in a semi-final. Is he going to bring that same aggression? Let's see. That's a couple of hours for us to find that out. But certainly, if Just Butler gets going, he's going to be worried for any attack.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about maybe the difference in terms of being in the qualifying rounds and now the semi-finals. What sort of Just Butler we're going to get?
Right. I have no worries about that, personally, my gut feeling, because I think he's already proven himself, especially in white ball cricket, just to enjoy every situation. That game against, was it Sri Lanka, where he got the 100, where he had to take control because wickets were going down the other end. That was a pressure game. I think he copes well with that. But he's one of those players, if you get him early, fine, that can happen to anyone. Right, the next question revolves around who might walk out with him when England start their innings. I mean, my feeling was Bestow. Do we think that's the most viable?
Yeah, I think
option?
Because Bestow been opening the inning many times for England as well, and I think apart from Butler, he's the highest scorer, and then Jason Roy was scored few. He's out.
Yeah.
So all of the England batsmen haven't done a great deal in the middle. So if Butler goes early, then they will be in trouble.
Yep.
And the ideal combo is Saudi bowled with Santana opening the inning, and they have to be aggressive approach when they're bowling to Butler. Pitch it up, little bit swing. It's about all plan is to just get his wicket. Forget about the runs he made or whatever. If he goes early, then England could be in trouble because Livingstone haven't done anything. Dawid Malan is struggling big way against Spain. Saudi, it's going to be a challenge for him. So I think they look good names, very famous names, known names. But if you see the outings and performances
big boundaries.
it's not enough.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of big names in this tournament as well.
We've seen before,
And
they've gone home.
They've gone home. So,
If you play this game on copy, then definitely England, no match.
In your opinion, Viv, right, Johnny Bestow has made very few runs batting at 4. He's had a couple of first ballers or near first ballers, single innings, single digit numbers of balls faced. So he's not in form, he's not in runs. But in your opinion, do you think the shift to the top of the order would just encourage him, would free him up?
he's been tried before and tested and would have most certainly come through. Here's an opportunity for him. As you would have said earlier, batting at 4 didn't quite look as comfortable as when he's at the top of the order. Here's an opportunity for him to actually come and produce, because Jason Roy, as you would have heard, would have been one of the contributors at the top of the order with your main man,
Butler.
Mr. Butler.
My Butler.
You know, so your Butler, yeah, for sure. But yes, I think I certainly take your point. I would have him at the top of the order because of the previous pass and how well he would have done at that.
And I think he enjoys the challenge of a big game. I think just in psychological terms, that sort of promotion would give him a new meaning to life, as it were, and a chance to say, right, sorry, been absent, missing in action for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now's my day. That could work. Shall I pass you Dawid Malan as a talking boy? No, sorry, Azhar.
A question for you.
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Johnny Bestow, I know he's done it in the past. Vince coming back
James
into the
Vince.
side, James Vince, or Dawid Malan open the batting. So you got 3-4 choices.
Okay. My answer to that is I would prefer Bestow, because I've seen him so often, certainly in 50 overs and in T20 before. Opening the innings, he's positive. He plays some extraordinary shots on his day, and I think in looking at him in this tournament, he's been caught on the back foot to the spinner. And they might bowl Santner, as you say. They might bowl Santner early on, but if he has a chance against the new ball, he will be positive. So he also pick up the role that Jason Roy plays.
Absolutely, I think it's like-to-like replacement for Jason Roy up the order.
And sometimes to just get your confidence back, that's the best place to play also, just to be free and attack the opponent.
Instead of sitting in the pavilion waiting, you go straight out there and you just play.
मैचअप अगर करते हैं मोइन अली बेटर चॉइस हो सकती है एज ओपनर, क्योंकि सूदी बहुत अच्छी लेफ्ट हैंडर को करता है लेकिन ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल वो राइट हैंडर के लिए है. तो मोइन अली स्पिनर्स को बहुत अच्छा खेलता है, सेंटनर हो या सूदी हो. तो
सूदी का इतना अच्छा रिकॉर्ड इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट नहीं रहा.
नहीं, लेफ्ट हैंड पे भी वैसा नहीं है जैसे राइट हैंड बैट्समैन क्या है उनका. तो मैचअप अगर देखा जाए तो मोइन अली ओपन करते हुए नजर आते हैं.
What about Dawid Malan then? Because he is a man who has got a lot of runs in this format, has been ranked very highly in this format, and yet still people feel as though he doesn't quite sort of look right, in the sense that his strike rates are not good early. He has to hang around. He's got to bat for 80 balls to get his strike rate up.
He was number 1 player in the world for this format. Now he's I think number 3. Number two.
Yeah.
So he has done some good work for England, and he's a class act, like playing against pace. We talk about New Zealand pace attack. So he's the best guy to face those deliveries up front, like he's done it in the past as well. So and against spin, yes, he struggled here, but I've seen him playing really well against spin as well, because he got the shots, he got slog sweep as well, and the shots through extra cover as well. He's one of the best guys to play extra cover against spin. So
अगर डेविड मिलान का भी हम देख सकें बी हाइव तो जरूर दिखाइएगा.
टोटल 67 बॉल पे 75 रन किए हैं. अगर ब्लैक कॉलम देखते हैं वहाँ पे, और डिसमिसल 3 दफ़ा हुआ है, तो स्ट्रगल करते हुए बीच की बॉल और ऑन साइड पे नज़र आए हुए स्ट्रगल करते हुए नज़र आए, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बाउंस इतना नहीं मिलता, पिच पे बाउंस नहीं है, तो इनको टाइम लगता है. ये थोड़ा सा नो डाउट इनके प्लेयर बहुत अच्छे हैं, लेकिन मोइन अली को मवाजना करूंगा सब कॉन्टिनेंट में, तो मोइन अली एज ए ओपनर ज़्यादा अच्छा है, लेकिन करेंगे बटलर एंड बेस्टो मेरे ख्याल से ओपन करेंगे.
Butler and Bestow.
Because they have too many openers in the side.
Yeah. Well, it's an option if you need it, and you can play with the order. I mean, they could well play with the order anyway, depending on who bowls when and how the first 3 or 4 overs go, that sort of thing. And when he plays shots like that, you think, okay, that's why he's so highly ranked.
Yeah, he got 100 in T20 format as well. So
He shows power and touch.
And he's a confident guy, regardless of what people
see,
may
that's
say.
the extra cover shot. Sorry, I was talking about.
Some would say overconfident sometimes, but he's, let's say some would say overconfident. But yeah, it's an option. I suspect he'll still stick at 3.
इनको भी स्पिन पे देखें तो वो इनका भी स्ट्राइक रेट कम नजर आ रहा है 102 जो कि है बॉल 35 रन 34 बॉल पे मिला है. इसका मतलब है कि न्यूजीलैंड ने भी हम देख रहे हैं तो न्यूजीलैंड ने भी देखा होगा, तो ये भी आएंगे
और बड़ी हिट्स तो इस टूर्नामेंट में इतनी हुई नहीं.
एवरेज देखें स्पिन के अगेंस्ट बेटर एवरेज एंड देन पेस.
नहीं आउट नहीं करते ना, तो खेलते रहो,
सिंगल डबल ज्यादा करते हैं
है ना. आउट नहीं किया ना कि इसको खेलते रहो, जैसे हमारे पे कभी क्लब में आ जाता था या मारता नहीं है, खिलाते
उसको out ही नहीं कर रहा.
स्ट्राइक रेट कम हो रहा है.
So Rashid is saying that sometimes the opposition won't get him out because he's just taking singles and doubles against spinners. So it's better to keep him in at that point when the spin is on.
Yeah, and just remember he's still back in New Zealand. So this is this is how this works. Okay, well Malan. Yeah, okay, so Malan at 3, I think is most likely. That's the way. That's where he's batted so far in the tournament. That's where he's likely to bat again. Again, the options come in thick and fast below because we have seen England change the order according to who is bowling. But we can talk about various people as they come up. Spring to mind. For instance, Liam Livingstone. Now, he hasn't had many opportunities, not faced many balls in the tournament yet. When he does see a ball, he can hit it a long, long way.
Yeah, the small innings that we have seen him play, they were impressive. He can hit one of the biggest sixes, if I'm not wrong, he has hit one of the biggest sixes of the tournament. So if we can see the beehive, he has definitely not only played 19 deliveries, so you can't judge much from this. But if we have a little bit of a package of his video, उसमें से हम देख सकते हैं.
Right, that's what we want.
Yes, that's
Not just one of them, but several. I mean, that was an enormous hit. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, we've seen him in England do this in all sorts of cricket, what we call, the blast, the 100. In white ball cricket,
112 meter six.
yeah, it goes a long way.
What you see there is rather beastly. If he spent time at the crease, this guy could be seriously dangerous.
Yes.
Then we could see why he's called out, christened the beast.
Yeah.
The beast.
Yeah, he's a powerful player, and he's an individual that when he goes fit, there's no holding back.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys, should I not? When he lets go, sometimes I want to know if the bat is going to go with the ball as well. Just the power of the man,
Put it this way, if he goes for a shot, he commits to it.
Commits himself
fully.
big time.
Absolutely.
And that's why in 15 deliveries, if we were seeing the graphic,
If you go
15 deliveries, there were 4 boundaries, 3 sixes,
Yeah.
1 4. So I mean, he is there for a job and he is doing that really well.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
look at that against pace. He's only played 15 deliveries, out of which 3 were sixes, 1 was a 4. So I mean, in 15 deliveries, if someone can hit 4 boundaries.
So boundary ratio again. Yep, that's what I was talking about. 78% boundary ratio. It's just on this World Cup. But overall, if you see, it's about 80% boundary ratio. For
I mean,
Livingstone.
sometimes it's just a question of, even if you make 20 quickly, it's when you make it. If you come in halfway through and the innings suddenly gets a big kick, that's good news. If you need him right at the end, and you go from, say, I don't know, 140 to 160 or something like that,
Yeah, absolutely.
then
Player like him,
all helps.
like in the middle, just change the momentum of the whole game. And then, after that, you got a firepower as well. Moeen Ali and, Vokes can play shots as well.
I think the most improved players from last 1 year. When he was in the PSL, all the teams were planning against him, don't give him anything middle and leg. It was used to hit only across or long on. But now he has improved. We have seen in hundreds and in England leagues, he started playing in the point and cover area as well. So I think it looked like it doesn't do well in this tournament. It's got only 2 dismissals. Haven't got the opportunity because
19 deliveries.
chances.
Yeah.
19 deliveries only.
Indeed, but nice to have the options. Okay, well, we are working our way through these people, bits by bit, slowly but surely, and working our way towards the start of the game, but that's still quite some time off. So let's just take another break for now. Plenty more to come before we get to the live action later in the evening. This is Game On Hay.